Welcome to PharmaSalon. This is your host, Vivian Juder-Frankel. We feature discussions on regulatory, policy, compliance, and business issues specifically for the compounding pharmacy industry. The podcast covers topics related to 503As, 503Bs, hospital pharmacies, and veterinary. I hope you'll tune into all of our discussions, as you never know when and where an idea will germinate that will take your business to the next level. This series, Partnering for Business Growth, I wanted to explore how compounding pharmacies can grow their business. I know particularly with 503As that compounding pharmacies are looking for new ways to increase revenue and market share. I became intrigued with the idea of finding new markets that a pharmacy may not have initially intended when they opened up for business. One of the things I wanted to explore during this series is the idea of looking outward to grow. By that, I mean exploring partners and opportunities that may not have been part of your original core business. The first person I spoke to about this is Greg McKettrick from Stanley Pharmacy. Through this series, he took me on a journey of how he successfully embraced business relationships to create new partners. The partners range from doctors to suppliers. Relationships and a level of trust has opened up not just new opportunities in traditional pharmacy client-customer relationships, but entire new revenue streams that were never even dreamed of when Stanley Pharmacy was founded.
I'm Greg McKettrick. I am a registered pharmacist. I am a compounding pharmacist. More specifically, I specialize in men's health and sexual wellness. I've been working with Stanley Specialty Pharmacy in Charlotte for the last 5 years. And I work in a number of different fields, but primarily I am, again, men's health and sexual wellness. I'm also director of marketing and new business development. Now, Stanley's is a full spectrum compounding pharmacy. We do sterile compounding, bulk compounding, a lot of bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, veterinary, ophthalmic, and a large portion of urology. When I first started working with Stanley, a lot of our business really centered around BHRT and veterinary, and there was a component that certainly was urology. And one of the things I was asked to do was to go out into the field and really kind of spread the Stanley message and work on the marketing aspect. And I did that. And I went into every office that we serviced and 100 that we didn't. One of the things that really kind of blossomed from that was the fact that our urology business had kind of, languished a bit in terms of feeding the attention that it needed. So I was starting to spend a lot more time in urology clinics throughout North and South Carolina. And in that regard, that really changed a lot of our practice model within the pharmacy. We started to focus a lot more on urology. The nice thing about it was we already had the relationships. It was just a matter of really bolstering them and becoming much more intimate in those relationships with the physicians, their mid-level practitioners, and with the patients. So what we really started to do at that point was get into a method of working with the patients. We had always given some basic instructions and gone over how you use a penile injection, how you use a pump, what the different medicines were. But it was never really done in a very concerted effort where we really had a game plan for it. Part of the things that I was asked to do really was to go in and start mapping out this training program. So we really put together a nice training program. And what we found was it was starting to really take up a large amount of time to go through all of the details. Some of these consultation sessions were going anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. And as we all know, there's just not that much time in a day when you have multiple patients coming in, and obviously you have to take care of the pharmacy at the same time. So we came up with a plan and transitioned into using training videos. We actually went in and I went through and I did the training videos for all of our different components, everything that we work with, which it's everything from supplements and PDE5s to vacuum pump to the penile injection to auto injectors to our sublingual medications. And by doing that, what we were able to accomplish was really letting the patients have this head start in terms of that training process. So as soon as we have the order, And we've talked with them. And when we have them on the telephone, we talk with them about storage and of course, cost options and different things. But then we will let them know, hey, listen, we're going to send you a link to our training video. Take a look. That way, any questions you have, we can address them more completely.
Greg, I have two questions for you. When you did the training videos, how did you go about doing them? Did you source an AV company? What were the logistics that went on? The second question is, when a doctor has a patient and they referred you to that patient, do you then set up an initial call or a consultation? And then at that point, you refer them to the training videos and then you follow up with them at a later date?
Yeah, so it really depends. I will say that early on, the process was very much as you'd expect. The physician's office would send in an order. We would reach out to the patient and it would flow from there. What I'll tell you is now a lot of times we are the initiators because patients seek us out. We will make the referral to the doctor and possibly even make the recommendation on therapy. And then once we receive the prescription back, again, it kind of follows along that path. As far as the videos, interestingly enough, we did the first set of videos. We had someone come in and we have an office in the pharmacy. We did the videos in-house. And then what happened was more doctors' offices and clinics and hospitals were using our training videos in their setting. They were actually relying on our videos to instruct the patients. And we kind of thought about the fact that, we could polish these up. If we're going to broadcast this to a larger market and really start to get this out to maybe other pharmacies in other parts of the country and doctors' offices, we need to polish this. So at that point, we actually went into a studio and very professionally went through and reshot all the videos. And that's what's on the website now, and that's what actually is going out to the offices at this point.
Join us for the Compounding Pharmacies Grand Salon. Talks on leadership, inspections, quality, and environmental monitoring. Live discussions October 5th through 8th. Presentations are on demand. CE accredited for pharmacists and technicians. For more information, go to www.pharmasalon.com/compounding. I was wondering, how is it that patients have been able to find you? Has it been strictly through doctor referral and you expanding your reach into practices nationally?
Well, there's a number of ways. Some of it is word of mouth. Some of it comes because we have networks of physicians that, they're treating patients for different things, and then topic like urology or ED or whatever comes up and they kick it to us. Now, we also have a pretty solid presence in terms of our website, our YouTube page, LinkedIn, and I do a lot of work online. There are a lot of support groups that live on the internet, and there are men out there who are seeking answers. And I'm there basically just offering consultation, giving them suggestions, and that has become a patient stream. There's a kind of a lot of little tributaries that feed into where the patients come from. Sometimes it just surprises me. I'll get a phone call and it'll be from somebody across the country, and out of just curiosity, well, how did you find me? And they said, I Googled you. You came up and everything looked good, went to the website, liked what I saw. So, like I said, a lot of it has just developed, I think, by putting the pieces in the right order and kind of building the platform. Again, this process from where we started, it was about a 4-year kind of organic growth pattern where we went from basic training to very elaborate training to really documenting the training and relying on video and print materials to where we are now, which we're actually sharing these materials, and pharmacies around the country are licensing them, and clinics and hospitals are using them. So it's not something that just automatically happened. It grew as we grew. And I guess, as things become a little better known, it kind of takes off for you.
I think it's great how you were able to develop another revenue stream that wasn't part of your business model. And I'm really intrigued by the idea that if your mind is open to improving relationships with your core market, how it opens up all these opportunities. I am wondering, though, is this revenue stream, how important is it now to the pharmacy? Is it something that you've got that's really great, but it's sort of a nice addition and the pharmacy main business is still servicing individual patients, or has it become more important than that?
So, as you know, in this kind of organic growth, one of the other things that came of it was I came up with this idea that there was this huge void in treatment. All of this, again, it kind of was over a timeline, but more and more of the patients that we were seeing were coming in and they were post-prostatectomy. That's when I decided I was going to actually put together this step-by-step protocol for treating these patients. The videos are incorporated that. The printed training materials are incorporated with that. The different products that we have brought in are incorporated with that. So it feeds the pharmacy. But just basically to answer your question, it has now actually generated a second company. And that company it's called Stanley Pharma Group, which we are licensing the videos. We're offering consultative training to other pharmacies and physician groups. We're actually treating patients all across the country. We've established a network of pharmacies that can process orders regardless of what state patients are in. So yes, it developed a very unexpected revenue stream, which in turn led to the concept of this is a self-supporting entity. So it is feeding the pharmacy, Stanley Specialty Pharmacy, but at the same time, we've actually taken this kind of up to a next step on the ladder where it is supporting and developing a whole new entity, a new business.
That concludes part one of my interview with Greg. Join us for our next episode where we discuss partnering with other companies in his supply chain and how seeing past basic relationships has increased his bottom line. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you will join us again next week. At PharmaSalon, we produce content and conferences for the compounding pharmacy industry that focuses on learning through conversation. It is our mantra that everyone's experience is worth hearing and can benefit someone else in the industry, and we're the ones to facilitate those discussions. Our next event is the Compounding Pharmacies Grand Salon. 4 days, 4 tracks. Regulations, inspection preparation and response, quality validation and design, environmental monitoring, and leadership. Pre-recorded presentations will be released on September 20th, and live sessions will be October 5th through 8th. CE credits will be offered to both pharmacists and technicians. For more information, go to www.pharmasalon.com/compounding. That's www.p as in Paul, HAR as in Robert, M as in Mary, A, S as in Sam, A, L, O, N as in Nancy.com/compounding.